Okay, today I'm going to show you this cute little Halloween treat. I have a little bag of Skittles in there, but you could also use the same idea for a Ghirardelli square. So it works for multiple treats. I started out with a die cut on my wish blade that I made, and it ends up looking like this. You can also get this as a big shot die. It's called a petal card, where all four corners fold in. I'm going to use the score pal to score the lines for the folds, and I've taken one of my lines and just highlighted it with a Sharpie marker because that makes it easier to see that you're on the same line at both ends of your project. So line up two of the corners and then just score that line, and you can turn it. And I'm only going to do 3 sides because that 4th side is left raised up. Remember, it's left up like this, so you don't want to score that one. So score those. Once you have those scored, you're just going to fold them in. It's very easy. Then I took a strip of 6 1/4 by 2 pattern paper, and I inked the edges just with a black ink pad. This paper that I'm using is the Miss Moxie collection from the Angel Company. It makes a great Halloween paper. Once you have the edges inked, you're going to want to stick your treat in, and see on the Skittles this part is blank, so I'm going to put it in upside down so that that solid green shows at the top. Just put it in, fold your edges over, and then you're going to wrap this around. Like that. And adhere it on the back. Okay, I found that if you're working with a treat that has this much air in it, it's easiest to take your paper and put your adhesive on both ends and then lay your treat down on top of it so you can keep your pressure there. And then just line up this edge here with the bottom, and that will ensure that it's on straight. Otherwise it keeps popping open on you and it makes it a little difficult. Okay, for the rest of the embellishments on my treat, I've taken this stamp and I'm going to ink it. This stamp is one of the Halloween stamps from the Angel Company. Just stamp it. And then take the Mega Scallop Circle Punch, and if you look through the bottom of your punch like this, you can punch it out perfectly, and this will get adhered right there to your treat. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you is how I colored the pumpkin here. I'm going to stamp him with that same black ink. It's a Noir palette ink. And then I'm going to color him with these glaze gel pens. They're called Jelly Roll glaze pens. And what they do is they create a raised ink. It almost looks like your ink has been embossed. So I'm just going to scribble a little here to make sure that my pen is going. And then I'll start coloring. You want to go slowly. One of the keys to these pens is not go over top of where you have already colored. What happens is the glaze starts to set, and if you color back on top of it, it will crack. Okay, so I'm just going to continue coloring, making sure I don't go back over top. And also with these pens, the slower that you color, like the slower you draw your lines, the more thick the ink will be. So if you want more of a raised look, you'll want to go really slow, because what happens is the longer the little ball is depressed, the more ink is released from the pen. So that's how it makes it thicker, by the slower that you go. Okay, I'm going to finish up the coloring of my pumpkin. Now, if at the very beginning you had a spot that didn't cover very well, like I do right here, once it's dry, you can go back over top, but you want to make sure that it's dry, because if it's not, it'll crack, and then your glaze will have like a crackled, bumpy texture to it. It won't be a nice smooth layer. I wanted to show you how you can mix colors with these pens. So I'm going to make sure that my green and my yellow are going, so I can get two colors. I'm going to put a little yellow, little yellow on my eyes, and then right away come back in with the green, and it will blend those two colors together. Now you have to make sure that the yellow is still wet so that the colors will join in together and really blend. Now I cut out my pumpkin, and it looks like that. You can really see the glaze to him. I'm going to take some Miss Moxie ribbon, which is really nice that it's just coordinated right together with the papers. And I'm going to wrap this around and tie it in a knot. Just like that. And then I'll stick my pumpkin to the knot with a glue dot. Just get that on there. And stick it right to the knot. Now if you want to get these little strings on it, I used scrapper's floss, and on here I used purple, and I think I'll use purple again. Just going to get off a piece of this. To adhere the floss, I folded it in half and snipped the end, so now I have two pieces, and I'm going to go under the knot and just tie this under. If you want to curl the ends, I just take my piercing tool and start really anywhere, but I pull it tight so it's down at the very base of where the piece of floss is that I'm wrapping around. And just wrap it around till you get to the end, and then I squish it all down to the bottom and like twist my fingers around it and pull that out, and you have a nice little spiral of floss. And you can repeat for all your pieces. So that is how I finished my Halloween treat. I hope you enjoyed it, and you join me next time. Thanks for watching.